She was encouraged
Yeah,
by.
she did mention that you guys did try to go to counseling. If I remember correctly, she did say that she was trying to push you towards there, but you were more apprehensive about the counseling.
Oh, let me touch on that, bro. So
Okay.
I'm always open to counseling, right?
Okay.
I was just even telling somebody the other day, hey, I think I want to go talk to somebody about some specifically, that was a concern to me. We had a counselor. Um, I remember being in there, and I'm just like, for the reasons we were there, I would tell the counselor, hey, I don't think she's getting it. So we would try to work on things from what the counselor shared, and it wasn't successful because we tried a couple of people, and then she wanted me to just go by myself. The counselor even said, yo, I need both of y'all here, but let me tell you, I was still going by myself. I was going by myself, but he said, Dave, this is going to be effective if I can get both of y'all in here. She stopped, she didn't want to go. So at that point, man, I'm just like, Lord, whatever,
Why did she
whatever.
not want to go anymore?
Again, whatever her perspective was, whatever she felt, I can't even tell you, man. Just some people give up. Some people, that's the best way I can describe it. Like, my daughter, my 16-year-old daughter came to me and said, Dad, why did she just give up? My kids saw, she asked that question and I couldn't answer it. I couldn't,
Mm,
I couldn't answer it. People give up. People let go. People walk away. Marriages today, man, a lot of people are leaving them. You're talking about a 57% divorce rate because people are getting married out of convenience. And if
mm.
something don't work based on their opinion of it or based on how they want it to work, they leave out. They leave. Some person left, whether it was the man or the woman. But the reality of it is we got a 57% divorce rate because people are leaving.
Okay. So what do you think you? Because obviously, reason why, because I do a lot of
Yeah.
coaching with couples and people that are even married, right? And one of the first questions I ask them first of all is, do you want to make this work, right? Because that's the premise. If you don't want to make it work, why are we here, right?
Yeah.
Now, obviously, you've got yourselves to a counselor. You guys are both sitting in front of the counselor, and you're trying to work out issues, and now she decides that she's going to give up when she's decided to go to the counseling with you, and you don't know why up until this point why she decided to give up. Like, does that
So
not?
yeah. So I think you were probably even going to lead up to what can we do differently? How can we?
Not even. I'm just. It's more of a case of like I'm still trying to decipher what's, because obviously, like I said, you explained it, and I'm saying, okay, great, we're getting a bit more context now, but I'm trying to imagine a couple going into therapy counseling, and then she's the one that's pushing for it, right? She pushed for it originally.
No, no, no. We both were in agreement for the
Okay.
counseling, right? We both said this is what we need to do, and we were going voluntarily. Um, it was in the counseling that we tried one person. There
Okay.
was some things that I was still being offended by. For example, there were, you know, again, brother, this is one of the things where I could be specific and tell you some things that happened, but it's not to damage
I
the
understand.
character of somebody else.
Yeah.
I'm not. I don't want to do that. You know, there were some things that happened to me that came from her, but if I went into those things, you would be like, all right, that makes sense. Okay, that makes sense. So then we got to the point where we tried one counselor, and then we were just like, hey, we're good, we're fine. Looks like we're moving okay. We hit a financial setback. Now you pair that with my son, and the little problem we had just one night. I raised this boy. He's been living with me since eighth grade, and now he's graduated high school. So we had a very loving relationship. But this one night where she felt, I don't like how that just went down. Again, whatever her reasons were, it didn't sit well with her to continue in the marriage. It was, but I will tell you this, it was nothing, again, and I repeat this, everything was fixable. Everything was able to just sit down and let's work through this. Let's talk about it. And we were just at that point where, she says, look, I'm not going to go anymore. You go by yourself. And I said, well, look, the guy already said, if we go together, it's going to be more impactful. She wasn't going at that point. I was still going by myself. And so, man, we were now divided. She had now moved out, and I think it's easier for a divorce to happen when the person moved out. Mm-hmm. So we were at that point of separation, but we were there when we got separated. Her parents were already trying to buy her a house. This went on behind my back. Like, I'm their son one day. On a Tuesday, I'm y'all's son. On Thursday, y'all helping her buy a house. But what happened to the family rallying together and saying, yo, let's sit down and work this out. Let's talk about this. Let's fix this. Or, hey, let's separate, but then, like the Bible says, come back to reconcile. So none of that happened. None of that happened. And it was these terms and conditions. You can continue to go by yourself, but I'm not going. And brother, I tell you, at that point, when we were already separated, it just further went apart.